Hey everyone, Val here, and I wanted to do a quick update for you on the diving before I go off to work this morning. Um, Steve and I did our last of our dive certification over the weekend. The dive shop took a group of 10 of us that were getting certified down to Lake Rawlings, which is it's a quarry that has filled with water, and they've sunk a few things down in the quarry, like a helicopter, airplane, bus, a few other things that they've sunk down there in the quarry, so that it's a place for divers to practice and get certified. So we went down there for the weekend. The water was cold. I think it was like about 55 degrees. We had 8mm wetsuits on, including hoods. And we had to do skills like flooding our masks and clearing our masks underwater. We were down about 30 foot where we were doing most of the skills. They had platforms down on the bottom where we would go down to and then have to kind of like kneel on the platforms. And the instructor would go around with a couple of dive masters and that were with us, and have us do the different skills that we've learned underwater. It was cold. All I can say is it was cold. I don't have problems taking my mask off underwater and clearing my mask and stuff, but when that cold water hits your face, it just kind of takes your breath away. It's so cold down there. Um, One of the dive masters, I was telling him, I said, I don't really mind doing this when because we had to do it a couple different times. We did 2 dives on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. I said, but when that water hits your face, it's cold. And he said, yeah, I admire people who do this in the cold weather. I wouldn't want to do it. He said, I would rather do it when the water is warmer. So it's good to know that we did it, and the dive masters didn't even want to do it. So we had to take our regulator out of our mouth underwater and throw it aside, and then have to try to recover it, put it back in our mouths, clear it, and continue breathing. We had to pretend we were out of air, and then we had dive partners. Steve was my dive buddy, so he would give me his reserve regulator and have to hold on to each other as we went to the surface, like we were rescue diving each other. We took turns doing that. We had to try to go from the bottom to the surface in one breath. So we each had to do that. Let's see, what else did we have to do? We had to learn to use our compass underwater and navigate. So they sent us off in a direction for so long, like 20 kicks or 25 kicks. And then we had to navigate back to where we belonged and try to make it. Steve and I did really pretty good with that. Also at the last dive, we had to plan our own course in there. And there was a group of 6 of us that went out together with a dive master. And we had to find our way to one of the sunken items. We had planned our route and planned it with our compass. And then once we were underwater, we had a leader who led us, and we followed, and had to stay together and practice all the skills that we had learned. Not the use everything we learned to get there and to get back, staying buoyant, neutrally buoyant, and everything in the water, and not kicking up too much of the ground underneath us, and get to the boat, we went to the bus. We went to the bus and back to the platform where we started on navigating underwater. And I thought we did really well with that too. We had to manually inflate our BCD, which is the vest with all of our stuff on it, underwater in case our air wasn't working. So we had to switch from our regulator to hand, the hand thing that you would blow into to blow your vest up, to add air to your vest, and then back and forth. We did that underwater. Trying to remember what other skills we did. But there was so much we did, and it was a challenge because of the water temperature. It made it really kind of challenging for us because at one point yesterday we were underwater 45 minutes kneeling on the platform doing the different skills because there was so many of us down there. And towards the end, you're getting really cold. I just tried to keep moving the whole time, moving my limbs so that I was generating a little bit of energy down there. But it always seemed like I was one of the last people to go up to the surface. I don't know if it was because maybe I was heavier, had more body fat or something, I don't know. Or maybe I was moving around and I wasn't quite as cold as the other people who were just kind of sitting there shivering. So, but it was challenging. I'm glad we did it. We're looking forward to diving. Right now, we are planning, of course, the Alaska cruise, and we do want to go diving in Victoria, British Columbia. I want to talk to the dive shop up there. We're waiting for our certification, I guess, IDs to come back to us. They did take our pictures and everything at Lake Rollins yesterday so that they can get our badges made, or our IDs made, I guess our diving IDs made, and send them to us. I need that in order to make the reservations up at the dive shop in Canada. So we do want to do that. We had talked to the dive shop up in Canada, and they did say that it was going to be warmer by the end of May. The water temperature should be about 70, and that's a whole lot warmer than it was where we were diving this past weekend. So I think that'll be fine. We'll probably still be in full wetsuits. And then Steve and I are talking about planning. We are already planning another cruise for February of next year, and that will be in the Caribbean. So we will be hitting some ports where we can dive. Maybe at least 3 or 4 ports where we'll be able to do some diving in February. So we thought we were going to try to do a sandals resort possibly at the beginning of the year, and just do a dive weekend. But after 4 dives in 2 days, we think it's a little hard on your body. Unless you are really, really used to it, your legs are strong and everything. So we're going to wait, and we're not going to do a sandals resort because we don't want to do that much diving. We don't want to do like 2 dives a day for a week because we'd be exhausted and need a break after a first couple of days. Okay, so my battery went dead, I think. So I put a new battery in the camera. So I was saying we want to be able to do some diving at a few ports, but then if we want to do some other things at the other ports, we can. And we'll do some local diving. So I do have a new diving camera. I'm going to take some diving videos to share with everybody. We have the Alaska cruise coming up. We are so looking forward to that because we got a fishing excursion, a salmon fishing excursion planned, train planned for Skagway, train ride, and visiting some of the villages up in the Skagway area, and then also the diving in British Columbia. So we're looking forward to the cruise, going to get more excited about it now that our diving certification is complete, and we made it. Yay, it was tough, but we made it. If anybody tells you it's easy, it's not, especially if you're doing it in cold weather. So I'm proud of myself for pushing through. There was a couple moments where I didn't think I would be able to do it. It was so cold down there, and I just said maybe I need to wait. But it's in your head. You got to talk your way through it. So I just kept telling myself, I can do this. And I made myself do it. And I'm glad I did, because I'm glad we got our certifications together. And now we can dive. So thank you all for all of your encouragement. And I want to thank my sisters especially, because if I hadn't been walking and lost the weight I lost, there is no way I could have done this. I feel so much healthier, and my legs are so strong. And I'm so thankful for my sisters who helped me get to this point where I was able to do this. I probably would not have done it if it wasn't for them pushing me and saying, let's go another mile, let's go another mile. So we're going to keep continuing with our walking and losing weight. It only is making me feel better. And thank everybody for all the support you've given me with this whole process. And thank you for watching. And I'll look forward to sharing our cruise and our diving excursions and everything with you. So I'm going to say thank you for watching, and goodbye for right now, and I will see you on my next video. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed and you'd like to. And I guess I've got to go to work, so I'll see y'all later. Bye.